$1,135 episodes of this show. Holy smokes. It's been a long time. It's a lot of work from a lot of people, and a lot of good times, a lot of bad times, but a lot of good fun. And this strong possibility that the show is over. Strong possibility.
Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn as people pass by the window. I live on a working homestead. There's people coming, people going. Everybody's all over the place. It's been a morning here in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border. We have already been to Lowe's and back because it always happens right as we start sliding into the winter chill that something breaks and needs to be fixed. And of course, it's always something that you can't do if the ground freezes on you. So it's just one of those days in the crown of Maine. I hope everybody is having a beautiful fall day wherever you might be. We're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee. A couple pots of it today here on the homestead. If you're drinking the dirty dishwater coffee, throw it on out. You don't need the aggravation 14 days before the election day. I'm getting ahead of myself. Things just seem like they're speeding up, don't they? We've crossed over a precipice. And now things are getting absolutely real. We have 2 weeks until the election. And it almost feels like you're standing on the train track and your foot is stuck in between the rails. You can hear the train. It's a long distance ways off. But you're just starting to see the headlight on the train and wondering how you're going to get yourself out of this fix. It's absolutely wild. This is an absolutely wild election season. And I think things are just going to ramp up and come at us faster and faster and faster with every single day that passes by. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to do a little alternative news media celebrity gossip. For those of you, I know a lot of my viewers, I have sent you over to Timcast IRL. And if you were watching, because I got an email or two last night, my gosh, what do you think about this? I was on X yesterday, and 3 hours before Tim Pool's show, Timcast IRL, was about to go on air, tweeted out that there would be no show because the studio had a problem. The studio broke. That's what he said. And then shortly after that, there was another tweet, Twix, whatever you want to call it, another post on X that said that there was going to be a show, and I almost missed the show. I was actually a half hour late to the show because I was watching Jeremy. He was running a quarter cast last night. All good humor, all good fun. Well, Tim's studio, the new studio, broke. And I think a lot has happened over the course of the last few months with Tim. There's been some things that have been going on. Been going on for a few years. But it's really grinding on him at this point. So he announced last night that it might be his last show. Watch the show. It might be the last show. When I looked at how many viewers had seen that show in the wee hours of the night, 216,000 people tuned in to see that show. And that show was, Tim's not sure if he wants to continue with the IRL show that he does Monday through Friday. He does it 8 to 10, then he goes over onto his members only website, and then he does another half hour or so over there. They have a Discord going. It's a big thing. He's grown this small, well, it wasn't small, but it was a big channel when I found it. He's grown Timcast IRL into a company. into an amazing program. And I think the length of time that Tim has been doing YouTube, has been a YouTuber, has been a reporter. Remember, before the YouTube thing, he worked for Vice. He worked for Disney. He was a reporter. He was on the ground. He was traveling all over the world. He was on the ground with conflicts. He was doing reports in the United States. He can't go out and do live man on the streets anymore because people recognize him at this point, and they just ruin the man on the street live that he was in his youth. He's not that old. In his youth, he was able to do, and I think it's a combination of the pressure of owning a company that he has tried to make extremely diverse on his own. There's a lot of pressures to being a business owner, and I don't care how successful y'all think you are, and I don't care if you think if you had this much money, running a company would be easier. You're dealing with people, and if the people in your company do not have your vision and they do not have your drive, they really can sink your company. And then, you're forced to go through the bitter painfulness of firing them. And in the company that we run, our real life company, this isn't real life for us, our IRL company, we like to treat our employees like family, and sometimes that does pose a problem. Absolutely. People start taking advantage, and when they take advantage once, they're going to take advantage twice. And then taking advantage starts to become a small problem. You delegate to them. This is your job. Get it done. And they don't get it done. And then you have to pick up the slack as the business owner. It's part of owning a business. You are responsible for everything. And sometimes that does come at the expense of your life, your personal life, your professional life. Often, when you own a company with employees, your professional life comes first because you have a fiduciary responsibility to the people that you hire. Those people are relying on your success. Their families are relying on whatever employment contract that you made with them in order to earn a living. They are earning a living off of your success. And sometimes it's a hard smack in the face when reality comes at you. And you realize that people that you put in positions where you figured you could delegate tasks to suddenly stop caring. They just want the paycheck. They want the paycheck and they want to go home. And they have a life, and you watch as the owner of a business, you watch your personal life slowly slip away. And I think some of that is going on. I also think another component is Tim Pool has been doing the news for over 20 years. We look at him, he's a young guy. I think he turned 40 this spring, or he's about to turn 40, something like that. He's about 40. And he built a company in his 20s and 30s. And he's a millionaire now. He is very successful. And that company has taken every single ounce of his energy, of his time. And now the 40-year-old marker is coming up. And life expectancy for most people is between 80 and 85 years old. And you're starting to look back on everything you've done when you hit around 40. and everything that you haven't done. And I think Allison is fairly close to his age. She's in her 30s. And I think the biological clock just might be ticking. And I think that it is very possible some of Tim's decisions are because he and Allison really do want to start a family and have a private life. And that is a very difficult change from being in the spotlight all the time to trying to have a private life. Now, Tim did say that IRL was basically an albatross, the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. slot, and then he does a members only show after, and it's kind of an albatross. It's the anchor. It doesn't make them a lot of money. His morning show, afternoon show, that is, those segments do make him the money that he needs to live. And he's already a millionaire. And what he tried to do with that company was absolutely amazing. He tried to build culture. He created other shows were created off of his success. And I think he was kind of trying to do like a Daily Wire thing. And it just got too big for one person to handle. And that is what happens. It's easy to be a small content creator because, quite frankly, if I don't feel like doing a video for the day, I don't do the video. If I have an emergency chore that comes up, such as this morning in Lowe's, we just go and get it done. Then I come back in the afternoon. I hit out a couple shows. We're done for the day. Tomorrow I'm babysitting my grandboys, so there won't be no show tomorrow type of thing. And it works for my lifestyle. This isn't the bread and butter. We own, in IRL, in our real life, we actually do own a company and we have employees, and that's the bread and butter. That's the bread and butter for us. That's the bread and butter for people in our community. And yes, sometimes the employees goof off. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they make mistakes that cost you a lot of money, because y'all have to go in and fix it when they do a huge faux pas. And we are in an industry that we need to go and fix that stuff. And it's very expensive when an employee makes a mistake. It can cost us easy. Small minor mistake can cost us upwards of $15,000 to correct. And, that's a part of owning your own business and having employees. I don't know if Tim really is going to quit. I don't know if he's just burnt out. I don't know. I do know last night on his show, I saw a very unhappy man. He is happy having a personal life, which is not what he has right now. And I know people who are in Tim's position, and I know when they hit their 40s, they wanted families. They worked the 15-hour days for 20, 25 years straight out of high school, and they grew family businesses into multi-million-dollar businesses. And if they stopped doing what they did, it would collapse. But there comes a point in everybody's life where you have to choose you. You have to choose your happiness. And if you are doing something that does not pay the bills, but it's part of your business model, then the sad fact is you might have to let that go. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, it is not fun watching people struggle. It is not fun watching celebrity news media personalities struggle. But I think that it's a lesson for everybody. You need to be happy. because there's no amount of money in the world that is going to compensate for real life experiences, the IRL experiences that you miss. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, please be the kindness that you want to see in the world. If you have a dream, chase it. If what you are doing currently in your life is not working for you and is making you miserable, find a solution. Find something else to do with your life. Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.